Hey there, beautiful people. My goal in this video is to give you a very quick tutorial to get you started in your world of drawing faces. And the best way I can do that is to learn how to keep a video short and give you something fun right off the get-go. So let's go ahead and start from a feature and move on. Let's start with eyes. Let's get the general principle of eyes. If you think about how you might have drawn an eye as a kid, you may think about something like this, where it's two ovals and then a circle, and then that. And that's not too far off from what you would expect, but it goes much further than that, and we just want to keep things nice and simple for you now. And here's the best way to think about doing that. Take one part of the eye, push it up, take the other part of the eye, pull it down. Okay? That's going to give you something a little bit more like this. Now this is just one of many different kinds of eyes, but usually this part of the eye closest to the nose is pointed down, and this part of the eye on the opposite side is towards the top. And it's really easy to remember a cat's eye, kind of a thing like that. And then when it comes to drawing the pupil, this looks like frightening. And if you've seen any kid's drawing who's drawn an eye like this, it looks very frightening all the time. So usually the best thing to do is think about drawing this same circle, but draw it underneath the eyelid. So draw it here instead. And then draw your pupil right at that point. It can make them look sleepy, it can make them look partially awake, it depends on how you draw it. And that's something we'll look into in a future video. Now, let me show you how I do these very quickly when it comes to drawing caricatures and cartoons that I used to do at Disney and that I do now for selling a caricature. And it's very simple. I do this, this, and this. And that's usually how I draw my eyes. Now, this seems counterintuitive considering that this is supposed to be lower and this is supposed to be higher, right? Well, if you look very carefully here, you'll see that here's the low point here, and here's the high point here. Now, they don't seem too far off, but that's because we're looking at the eye from a different angle. A lot like drawing the eye from the side. So if I draw the eye from the side, it might look something a bit more like this. And if we look carefully once again, here's the bottom, and here's the side. And as you can see, they're not on a perfect plane like this one is. That's what makes it so different, and that's how you can get started on drawing eyes. And then remember, draw your pupil and your iris so that they are not completely out like this, where it freaks people out, but they are tucked underneath the eyelid, which makes for a much warmer, calmer, more simplified look. So let's take 2 more minutes and draw something a bit more detailed, shall we? Here we go. Got about a minute left, so I'm trying to draw in as much as I can just to give you guys structure that you can learn from. And don't be afraid to shade your eyeball, because your eyeball is a circle, and it's also a sphere. And we'll cover that in a future video. If you enjoy this very quick introduction to eyes, and you want to learn a little bit more about eyes, leave a comment below or hit that like button. That way I know and we can keep moving forward. But I think this might be a fun way to get started to introducing you to the world of caricature, cartoon, illustration, anything that inspires you to draw a human being or even an animal. A lot of the same features can be done in many different creatures across the globe. Pretty cool, huh? Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Lee. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Draw Too Much.